Hello everyone, today I want to animate Lighttower with you, and as you can see it looks really cool, but it's just 2D shapes, so yeah, let's have fun. So first of all, our layers here in Illustrator, as you can see they're really a bit overdrawn, and the reason is basically, for example here the windows. We will use the tower as a mask. We will create like everything with mask to create this fake 3D illustration. And I drew them like a bit longer here to make like the looping more easier in After Effects to animate. So here in After Effects, the first thing is we will import our files like always. I choose composition, layer size, okay. Now I have my illustration here and it has the same artboard file as my Illustrator file. Also I will turn on my windows, I accidentally turned them off. And the first thing is we will try to make the composition setting like fitting. In my case I wanted to do like the standard Instagram pose. So I make them both 1080 by 1080. Now I have my right composition size, and the next thing is because I need to turn on After Effects, please treat my layers as vectors. So I select them all, activate the sun symbol, and now they're all sharp and clean as an Illustrator. Now I need to move all my stuff from this left side here a bit to the right. So yeah, let's create new object. I select all with shift, my layers, and connect them to my null object, and press P for position and move them to the right. And as you can see, this is a really easy and quick way to move your layers around. So we start here on the top, the stones, when we move it around, both fine, the fence here. So here we will use a mask technique to animate this rotation. To do that, I just pre-compose it. I double click, go inside and activate again my sun symbol. And I will make my pre-compose, let's make it triple. So I multiply with 3 to get like 3 versions. Then I move one copy here, make full quality, make it here. I press Command D, duplicate it and move it to the right here. And I try to dock it perfectly on this one. And I will make one more copy here to have like a bit like a string. So now with the string we can see we can animate like the rotation like this. And we will now just tell After Effects, hey, use CMS to just show this part to get the illusion that it moves. To do that, I will create a new shape. Right here, layer new shape. I will take a bold color like red to show my box. May I make sure this rectangle tool is activated. And I will just create here like this cube. I will call this a mask as a layer. And here with this fence top, I go to my track map window. If it's not enabled, you can enable it here with the second icon below. Expand or collapse tool. And I will just connect it here with my mask. And as you can see, it now uses this red shape here as a mask to just display everything which is inside. And as you can see with this, we can later animate easy the rotation. So yeah, the next thing is we will do the same thing for the second fence here. I pre-compose, activate this, and make the width multiply with 3. And just do the same thing again. Something like this. Then create again a shape. something like that, and connect it again here. So if I move now around this, if I move now around my fence, we can see that it happens. Cool, the rotation. Alright, the next thing is here, these windows. So I select here my window layers, it's 8 and 9, and I will use this tower as a mask. So I select them all, click tower, and now we can see here the windows, they get like rightly masked, but the tower is disabled. To turn it back on, we click here the eye, and if I now turn on my windows, you can see it's still masked at the right spot. So the next thing is we will mask here the windows. I go here to my window mask here, create this. I use my windows as a mask here, and I want to reverse it, so I will click here, this shape here, to get like this kind of window shape here. And if I move now around my mask from left to right, you can see it makes the illusion of this moving. So that's pretty nice. Then we want to also have windows, so I duplicate this one, remove all the mask thing inside, and I just press T for opacity and move it, make it maybe 30. Now we have like a nice glass texture here. Here this light source over here, I turn off to just have our light tower. And actually now it's ready to be set to be animated. So I think I will make my animation around 6 seconds. So I will use my marker here, maybe turn the comb. So we have a nice cool 6-second animation here. Maybe, yeah, I will just swim in like this to have like my animation happening here, something like that. So the first thing is I will animate the antenna here. To animate, it's pretty easy, because also the color of my roof, it's gray, so you don't need to bother with back and front here. So I just make a keyframe here, and in the half of my animation, my antenna should be fully on the left side, and here on the last keyframe it should be the same as the first. So we have like a flawless loop happening here. So we can see now this rotates. Cool. Then next thing is these windows here, windows 2 and 1. I do the same thing, I make position, but instead of starting directly with this as our default keyframe, I move them a bit to the left, something like this. Then I press Command R on my keyboard, and I use a ruler, and I use the ruler to just check where my windows align here to make them easily loop. And I can just maybe move my tower to the left like this. And to make it loop endlessly, I need to add my loop out expression by pressing Option key to my keyframe. So I just write loop out. I apply the same expression here on my other position, window frame, keyframe. And I want to check it now moves perfectly. So now from the timing, it looks like everything is fine. It's also aligning with my antenna movement, so I'm just keeping this kind of keyframes. So the next thing is maybe the windows here. So let's check. Where is it? Yeah, here it is, top windows. So I create a keyframe and I move everything to the left. So here I can do the same thing, let the animation start a bit here on the right, like this. and I can use my reference ruler to align one window like this. And move it something like this to move this around. And this works actually pretty cool already. And we shouldn't forget to also put our loop out expression here. So we have now here this kind of shape looping around. Pretty nice. The most important thing is it's always 3 seconds to make like the rotation, because we have a 6-second animation. So 3 multiplied with 2 is 6. So this will make it flawless. Also the first and last keyframe needs to be the same. Alright, now we animate the fence here. Press P for position. And here I can do the same principle. I can make my quality full. And I will align it maybe to this one. A little bit like this. And I will apply my loop out expression again. So for example, here the speed works for me. If it's not working for you, you can just try to push it less, like this for example, and line that. It's a bit slower, but in my case it works. So I just keep the same pace also for my other fence here below. So I just align here a fence and just push it a bit, maybe like this. Apply again also my loop out expression here. And yeah, it works. So now I already have my Lighttower rotating, which is pretty nice. Now the last thing is here the light source itself. So to choose them, I click here my light source. My light. And I connect it to my flasher. This is the flasher. I activate both S3D layer. So because the light is not connected to my flasher, I can press R for rotation. I rotate my sort as I want. So first it should be rotated 180 by the half. So we have like something like this happening. And maybe to the different side, so minus 180. So it rotates like this. And then it should just keep rotating. So we write loop out. And this time we write this inside with brackets, offset. So as we can see here, it just keeps the keyframe like here till 100. To 180, and then it just keeps going, so it makes a full circle. And now this is rotating. There's a small issue still happening here with the yellow light, but this way we'll easily fix. So here it's facing towards us. Here it's fully on the side, the light, so it should be turned off. So I go to opacity, create a stop keyframe. Like I press right and choose toggle hold keyframe. This I push fully to the left, so it stays 100% here, but then 0 here. So now we have like this happening. It rotates, the light source is closed. And then here it's on the opposite side. So here it can be turned on again. Just copy this keyframe here. And we have now a perfect loop happening. The next thing is we animate the stones here. So I pre-compose them. I do the same technique as before. With the fences, I move to move my stones here, pull it to the right. And while illustrating them, as you can see here, this left stone is exactly the same as the other one. And you can also apply here with effects a fill effect on it to just make it a different color to align it better here. So here then you can easily make it similar like this and just keep the color here, because with this technique you can also easily loop the animation. So now we see here the stones when the new stone loop starts, so I just push them all to the right. Then align one ruler maybe to this corner of the stone, like here. Press 3P for position, and this can be maybe a full rotation, so I just fully move it to the left. And a short trick is when I hold shift here and move position, it makes like bigger steps. And yeah, I just try to reach the same corner as here, so the loop is flawless. And here I don't need loop out expression because the animation just stops and loops automatically. Then I just turn off the fill. I can just also completely remove it, and I can just check my animation. And now I have a cool rotating happening and also flawless. The good thing is, because we animated the stones like this, I can just duplicate them, push them back here like this. Then important thing is, while I have both keyframes selected, I can push them a bit up like this. Right here also a tint effect on my stones. Make both here dark and make the amount like a bit less, something like this. And now if I check it out, we see now the stone moves weirdly from right to left, which looks weird. Therefore we need to just switch the keyframes around like this to have like this rotating feeling happening. The next step is to animate the stars here. I go here to stars and I do the same technique as the stones. I pre-compose them, extract here this, and make the width multiply with 2. Move the duplication maybe like this. Also add again my fill effect to just easily distinguish them. And then I press P for position. And just another note for animating stuff like this and make the composition cool. Right now I don't like that here this one star is biting the corner. So before animating anything else, I just adjust it. So now it looks better. So my starting frame can be something like this. So nothing is biting the corner so much, maybe this one. So I can just line like this bit, but this is fine. And then I just move everything and try to set up my first star. So let's maybe grab this star this time. I can make something like this. I go here till the first red star reaches my corner. It's the same like here. I have now the animation happening. Right now the stars rotate the wrong way. So I just, instead of rotating them like before, I can also just highlight them and press here keyframe assistant, time reverse keyframe. This will also switch the keyframes around. So now I have a cool rotation happening, and I can delete again the fill effect. And now actually the fake 3D rotation animation is done. To enhance the animation, I first go to my stars and add a glow effect on them. Scale up the radius like this, threshold a bit higher or lower. With this you can just to your preference, but something like this looks cool. I go to my front stones here, and I will distort them so they don't look like straight lines like now. So I do a bulge effect on them. Scale up the radius, and you can see now it pushes the stones a bit like this. I can reduce it with the height here, and now when it rotates it has like more this roundish feeling, which looks pretty cool. Then I do the same for the back stones, and I just rotate it. I just copy paste my animation there, and as you can see I just make the bulge minus, reduce it like this, and now we have like this round feeling happening. So at the side it distorts a bit too less, so maybe the bulge area will reduce a bit, something like that, and it looks more roundish. So just play around till you get your right setting. Then we can see here some broken frames here. So what I do is I just grab a color of a stone and push everything on the bottom, so we don't have like holes creating here in the bottom. I go here to light, and I just check a frame. I just select all to show again my keyframes, because I use them as orientation. And I just check a frame where the light is fully on the right. For example, this frame here. I create a shape, so I can adjust my shape here. I can delete the original light source, and I can just first fit it. Something like this, so it has like a bit more this light feeling happening. Something like that. And I activate here this 3D layer and just connect it to my flasher, because it's already rotating. And now we can see it rotates still the wrong side. So to easily adjust this kind of stuff is you make a 2 view here. And we now see our 3D animation from the top. It says here on the top. You can also see it from the side, like left. So when I see it now here, I see it like from the left side. But the top is the most important thing. So we check a frame where the light is fully showing to us. So maybe this one here. Therefore, here's the viewer eye basically. So we need to rotate the animation fully like 100 degree. But you can now see the anchor point is in the middle of this thing. So we first turn off our 3D layer and just readjust the anchor point to here. Then I reposition it to my light position, something like this. And then I can turn it back on. And actually, it almost placed it correctly. So now, while my light source is activated, here in this frame the light fully looks at us. So we just now reorientate it to us, basically like this. And now it moves correctly with our light shape. To give like the light more like this light beam effect, we can now just press T for position, make the opacity maybe 60, so it's a bit like transparent. Then what I did is also add a small blur effect on it. Blur, and let's use this Gaussian blur. Here, Gaussian blur. I scale it up. Maybe something like this. Maybe we can add a light glow effect on it, if it works. So yeah, you can really play around a bit the shapes. So you have here like motor's eye, lightning, everything. Perhaps if this is the light you want. So yeah, just play around. I think I'll just maybe reduce even more. Maybe this looks cool. So now, for example, here this frame looks ugly, where it's directly towards us. To fix this, I will just create a new shape, and I will draw a ellipse, something like this, perhaps. Then the next thing is I will align my anchor point to the middle of my shape, and I will turn on the 3D layer, and I will connect it to my light source, and now it should move also with my light source. And because here's the top view, we can easily just position it with the ZX here, with this, with the X value here, to bring it in the front. For example here, and now it moves like at the end, really cool with. Then we can just position it also, so it's aligned pretty cool here. And now still the layer order is broken, but this is easy to fix. So first we get our light color the same. I click here the selection tool, go to fill, copy paste the value, go to my circle here and paste the values so they have the same effect. I also copy and paste the same effect here. Then the next thing, of course, also the opacity. I can reduce here something like this. And we have here like small cut happening. It's because we need to move our shape more further away. So something like that would help. And now we have a cool light effect happening. So maybe in this sense, I will remove the glow on this, scale up the rotation and just crank this more up. So this is more like you just try around till it works, basically. So now we just need to bring the light like cool in the frame. For example, here there's a small hard cut happening. It's either because the light has the glow effect here, so it's maybe better to just remove it for this case. So we have like a cool, nice light here happening. Okay, now we just fixed the last thing is here the circle is in front. It's easy to fix. We just wait till the light is like fully out. And before I will split it, I will call it circle light. So I press Command Shift D to split it, and I just move the layer on top of everything. So it covers like here, everything. Then it goes here. And then at this frame over here, I can recut my circle again and push it again fully in the front. So it's always covering everything. Alright, this is actually already it. And I can go back to my normal view here, 1, to just see my animation. It looks pretty nice. And now it's just to enhance the animation. So to enhance my animation, I go to New, Adjustment Layer, and I will create like some wiggly lines because I love them. I go to Tool and Displays and apply an adjustment layer, and as you can see, it does like really this distortion thing. I will just write 12 to make it a bit less, and we'll animate this distortion by clicking Command on this random seeds value here and press time multiply with 6. And now you can see it has now this nice wobbly line effect happening here. You can reduce them by just make this value like smaller. Let's make it like 10, and now we just have less happening here, which looks pretty nice. Then the next thing is I will create also some noise effect here. When I crank it up, you see it makes like our frame a bit like dirty, but this gives a little character. So I just apply like maybe 8 or less percentage on it. So this looks really nice already. Then another thing is I will add an solid to create a vignette. I make sure the color is black. Now it's fully cover everything. I double click the ellipse tool here and it creates like here a circle. I press subtract to make my subtraction here. And now I just go here under my mask, crank the feather up like this, and you can now see it creates like this nice moody environment, and I can just easily adjust it with opacity, maybe 60, so the middle is sharp and it looks really nice. Let's make it 75, and it gives like more this lightning fancy light effect happening. So one small thing here, I see the light goes through my source. To easily fix this kind of stuff is to just animate the ZX while the light is behind. So for example here, I can just animate it without, and here it's still out. Maybe you need to animate it sometimes more out. So I make the value minus 70 almost. And then till here it should just return back. Because it's in the back, it's not so noticeable and it will be fine. This is a small adjustment to make it more look cleaner. To add like rain, I think, because we have a Lighttower and a storm weather. So I go to Effect, CC Rain, and we have here one that's called Rainfall. And if I apply it, you can see here this nice rain happening. We can increase the drops. It's increased like this. The size, the depth, the speed, like how fast they fall, the wind. I'll make them like this, falling down. Variation. And now we have like this nice fancy rain effect happening. You can just color around and adjust it, but this looks really cool. Yeah, I hope you had fun animating this with me, guys. And yeah, see you soon in the next one. Have fun and happy animating. Bye bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. If you feel like you want to have future content like this on your feed, feel free to just hit the subscribe button below. You can write comments below to just let me know how you liked it. And if you liked it a lot, or you have like suggestions for future videos, just also write them below. I will try to read them all. Happy animating. See you soon in the next video. Bye.